Welcome everybody. Hope everybody out there is staying safe and doing well. We're here in the middle of our vineyard and I have a beautiful, wonderful, special guest today. My wife, Jody, is here with us and we're going to be tasting the 2015 Barrack Family Estate 10 Goal. We are overlooking our vineyard. The thing about 2015 that I remember is it was the heart of the drought, and it was so dry and just continued to be so dry. And then another thing that kind of impacted us or was telling about that year is we had a very kind of cold spring, windy spring, and during fruit set, it was that none of the fruit set. So in the whole entire state of California, one of the lowest yielding years. But with that, we had very small, tight clusters in our Cabernet vineyard that I'll talk about in a moment. And unbelievable character and unbelievable complexity, despite that we were 50% down on yields. This is our high-end kind of luxury Cabernet. It comes from the most special vineyard on our property. The vineyard is on the other side of the hill over here. It's a very steep hillside, which we use a head train vine. A head train vine is like a bit of a palm tree. It's got a 360-degree fruit. So that hillside is so steep you cannot get a tractor. So it's 100% hand farmed. And of course, all of our vineyards are organic and sustainably farmed. So just a very, very special vineyard. And what is special to you about that vineyard, Jody?
What's most special to me about that vineyard is that it was planted by my dad on the year we got married in 2001.
Great day for me. Year we got married.
It's a great memory of our love, our marriage, and our life here.
Oh, I love that story, and so I think we do call the vineyard after my beautiful wife here, Jody. We call it Jody's Block Cabernet Sauvignon. Very special vineyard. So we take that incredible fruit back to our winery. We ferment it in old French oak barrels. And then once the fermentation is done, we're actually going to put it in all new Taranto T5 barrels. These are the finest quality Bordeaux barrels that you can purchase. The 5 stands for the wood comes from 5 different French oak forests. So you can literally see the different colors and different grains of the oak wood and the staves of the barrel. It's going to be in those barrels for 2 years, and then we're going to put it in a bottle and leave it in the bottle for up to 2 years before we're going to release it for sale. The aromatics are really jumping out of the glass for me, Jody. They got these dark fruits, plums, maybe a little bit of that brioche toast kind of note, and this big cranberry that just really jumps out of the glass. I love the aromatics. You guys, this is amazing.
It smells so good.
What a mouthfeel. Pretty intense tannins. I mean, I think that the little bit of Merlot and the other grape varietals that are in there add a little bit of plushness, but still super broad, a bit of an intense mouthfeel that you would see from a high-end luxury Cabernet. Dark fruits, super balanced, really, really balanced. I mean, there's just everything going on. It's broad, structured.
Yeah, it's a beautiful wine.
Here we are here at Happy Canyon Vineyard and Piocho Ranch. This is our clubhouse, and this is where I thought I would do our tasting for us today. I'm so excited to share with you our 2017 Piocho Patrón. Patrón has a wonderful, wonderful story, but first I want to talk about a little bit of the history of Piocho Ranch. So Piocho is the historical name of our property. We have 2 beautiful creek riverbeds that run through our ranch, and they meet at the edge over on the road we call Highway 154 that leads to Santa Barbara. It is a Native American word, Chumash. We live here in Chumash territory, and it means where the 2 rivers meet and go to heaven. So just a very beautiful story that is a tribute to the history and the heritage of the land of where the wines are born. Next, Piocho Patrón. Why do we give this wine the name Patrón? Well, it's rooted in what comes from the vineyard and is a marriage of our passion for the sport of polo. So Patrón in Spanish means leader or boss. So every year this wine, it has no framework. What the vineyard produces from year to year is what ultimately results in what the wine's going to be. So we have no plan for the wine. We take the best aspects of what we get in the vineyard in that particular vintage, and that's what we put in this wine. It's also a very commonly used term for the leader of a polo team, Patrón. So we have aptly given this wine the name Piocho Patrón, and I love it, and I love the story behind it, and it just displays what our vineyard is capable of, as well as this wonderful passion for the beautiful sport of polo. Okay, before we start tasting the wine, let's talk a little bit about the vintage conditions in 2017. 2017 is the year that really brought the rains. We had significant rains in January and February. At the end of the rains, though, the vine vigor was normal. We didn't have extra vine vigor that you may get in extra rainfall years. We did have, a little bit of wind and cool weather during the fruit set. So a little bit of a lighter vintage in terms of yield, but nothing to be unhopeful about, as really that low yield often produces higher quality, more complex fruit. So went into summer months were perfect, warm days, cool nights. We get into August, that continues, and in the fall, a couple of heat spikes, but nothing that we weren't able to manage. And at the end of the day, we produced, very character-driven wines, relatively low alcohols, and just a perfect, wonderful vintage for us. And as our vineyard matures, when these vintages come, the fruit quality just gets better and better. So excited to share that with you. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the wine. I pre-opened this one to help us out a little bit. So let's go right into looking at it. First and foremost, I just look at that color. It's beautiful and dark and ruby. I hope you guys can see that. Oh man, wonderful wine. Okay, now a little bit about the blend. It is a blend of all 5 principal Bordeaux varietals we grow on our vineyard. It's equal parts Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon with 31% each. Then we have about 23% Cabernet Franc, 14% Malbec, and just a touch of Petit Verdot to add a little bit more structure to the wine. Aromatically, the wine is very uplifting. You get these beautiful Bing cherry, blueberry, and blackberry notes with a little bit of clove, and then maybe this kind of green tea herbaceousness that just adds all this lovely character to the wine. So I'm in love with that. So much character, so much complexity. This wine is alive. It is so alive. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna get into, again, those big black and blue fruit notes, broadly structured. Man, it's just lingering. The taste is going on forever and ever, and it's lush and round, and a touch zesty. Both aromatically and on the palate, you kind of get this classic Bordeaux sense, right? So it's got a touch of this kind of earthiness, that kind of herbaceousness, and so classic. This is why I'm in love with this wine. True vineyard blend. We talked a little bit about those vintage conditions and what it's bringing to the wine. I think that rain allowed that really perfect ripening, and then, you know, picking it at the perfect times to give it a touch of that classic sense and that touch of earthiness, along with the beautiful big ripe blue and black fruit notes, touch of red fruits. Wow, really, really love it. Hello everyone, this is Sean Pitts, executive winemaker here at Happy Canyon Vineyard. I am coming to you from my home in Santa Ynez, California, and we're going to talk about some rosé today, so I'm really excited to share that with you. First and foremost, I hope everybody out there is doing well and staying safe, and just wishing you all the best. Let's get right into it. So this is our beautiful Piocho Rosé. It is a new look for this wine. It used to be called Chucker Rosé. Not a lot has changed with the wine in terms of what we're putting into it. It is a rosé of Cabernet Franc. This wine comes from primarily 2 vineyards on our property of Cabernet Franc. The first is named after my daughter Gracie. It's what we call an own-rooted Massal of Cabernet Franc. Very beautiful. It's 5 different clones from 4 different vineyards, effectively creating our own clone. So now known after my daughter's name, Gracie. Gracie's clone, Cabernet Franc. The other one is a brand new vineyard for us. It was the first year we got any fruit from that vineyard. We call it Block 11 right now, but maybe we'll give it a name in the future. But we put those together, and then it's got a special addition to it. It's got a bit of a Saignée of Merlot. A Saignée of Merlot is actually when we're making the Merlot red wine, and in that process, we take a little bit of the juice off the top before fermentation, throw it in that rosé tank, ferment it with it, and it provides a bit of a lushness to the wine. All right, let's talk about the color first. I love the color of this wine. What we do is we take those red grapes, we take them back to the winery, and we press them just like you would a white wine. And you take all that wine off the skin. So it gives it a little touch of color, but not too much. So it makes this beautiful, light, peachy, salmon-y, pink, beautiful rosé. With the new packaging, it is a Piocho. And we just added that beautiful Piocho label to this wine, light pink stripe, keeping consistent with what we used to do with Chucker. I just love the way it looks, and super happy with how it turned out. Hopefully it will brighten your day too. So let's taste the wine. Let's see what it is. So I'm serving the wine lightly chilled, not super chilled, but definitely, you know, it's great for a summer day. So let's talk about it. Oh, wow. I absolutely love this wine. I mean, this, guys, is the best rosé we have ever made, and been trying to make this wine since 2013, and every year, hopefully we've gotten a little bit better, but this year is what I've been striving to do. So I've told many of you guys that, and I absolutely believe it every time I crack open the bottle. Beautiful strawberry notes, a touch of earthy strawberry, peachy. Oh, wow. Really good. A touch of that Cabernet Franc sweet tobacco. And bright and beautiful. On the palate, first thing you notice, super tart, very dry, lovely. It's that, again, a little bit of that spiciness and verviness of the sweet tobacco, along with those zesty notes of strawberry again, and peach, and I absolutely love the wine. We made just less than 250 cases of this wine, so not a lot out there, but still plenty to be had. And in these times, I think it's just a wine that's going to be bright and hopefully liven your day, and at the end of the day, make you happy. Certainly making me happy right now, and love sharing it with you guys.